The year was 1882. The frontier stretched endless beneath a blood-red sky, a land that broke men and buried women who dared to dream. Ruth Dawson had no dreams left, only scars. Her father, Judge Henry Dawson, had once been a respected man in the small town of Dry Creek. But when rumors spread that his daughter had been caught in an improper friendship with a stable boy, his pride turned to poison. To him, shame was a debt, and debts demanded payment. And so, on a cold morning, he handed Ruth over like a piece of property to a man they called the half-breed scout, Elijah Greyhawk.
The wind carried the sound of chains. Ruth stood beside the wagon, her wrists bound, her eyes dry. Her father's voice was calm, almost businesslike. "She's yours. Take her west. She's not welcome in my house anymore." Elijah's dark eyes studied her, not with pity, not with desire, but with something else, perhaps curiosity. "And what am I to do with her?" he asked. "Keep her, bury her, I don't care," the judge said, turning away. Ruth wanted to scream, but her voice had long been taken from her. As the wagon rolled away, she whispered one thing under her breath. "At least I'm free." She wasn't, not yet.
Days turned into weeks. Ruth spoke little, Elijah even less. But at night, when they camped under the stars, she'd watch him sharpen his knife, his profile illuminated by the firelight. One evening, she broke the silence. "You hate me for what I am?" "No," Elijah said. "I don't even know what you are." She looked away. "A disgrace." He chuckled softly. "Then we have something in common." That night, Ruth saw something new, not the savage her father had described, but a man haunted by his own ghosts. They were attacked at dawn by 3 outlaws. Elijah took down 2, but the third aimed straight for his back. Without thinking, Ruth grabbed his rifle, it was heavier than she imagined, and fired. The bandit fell. Silence. Smoke. The smell of gunpowder and fear. Elijah turned slowly toward her. "Didn't think you could shoot," he said quietly. "Didn't think I'd want to live," she answered. For the first time, he smiled. Rumors spread faster than the wind on the frontier. A white woman with an Apache man. Some said he'd kidnapped her. Others called her his witch. The bounty hunters followed, the soldiers too. But Ruth and Elijah rode further west, where the land itself forgot names. One night, while hiding in a canyon, rain began to pour. They took shelter in a narrow cave, soaked and shivering. Ruth whispered, "I used to pray that God would end my misery. Now, I just pray He lets me see another sunrise with you." Elijah looked at her, really looked, and for the first time touched her hand. "Then let's make it to sunrise."
An old ally of Elijah's sold them out for gold. Ruth was taken by bounty hunters. When she refused to tell them where Elijah was, they branded her shoulder with hot iron, the mark of a runaway. When Elijah found her 2 nights later, he was no longer the quiet scout. He was vengeance itself. 5 men died before dawn. When it was over, he knelt beside her trembling body and whispered, "You shouldn't have come into my world." "Your world saved me," she breathed.
The army caught them near Tucson. Elijah was to hang. The judge presiding, none other than Ruth's own father. "This man corrupted you," he declared. "He's the reason your soul is stained." Ruth stood up in the courtroom, chains around her wrists. "No, Father," she said, voice breaking but clear. "You did that when you sold me." Gasps filled the hall. "If love is our sin," Ruth cried, "then hang me too." The judge's hand trembled. For the first time he saw his daughter, not a disgrace, but a woman reborn through fire. That night the guards found Elijah's cell empty, and Ruth's too.
Years passed. Whispers spread through border towns about a white healer who lived with the Apache. They said she could cure fever, heal wounds, and calm the dying with just her voice. They called her the Branded Angel. Beside her worked a man with dark eyes and silver streaks in his hair. He never spoke of the past, only said, "The desert remembers everything, even love."
Some said they died together in the canyon storms. Others swore they saw them riding at dusk, a man and a woman, side by side, where the sky touches the earth. But those who knew the truth said this: Ruth Dawson found not punishment, but redemption, not shame, but love, not death, but belonging. And as long as the wind sings over the desert, their story, the story of branded hearts, will never truly end.